the way to convince the unconscious part of your brain or the subconscious that there is no danger is to give it proof in the form of childhood memories. The unconscious part of the brain or the subconscious is constantly checking your implicit childhood memories to determine whether something's dangerous or not. It's not based on reality and it's not based on logic. It's just based on what's here in my childhood. So when we change those childhood memories to the opposite, positive empowering, then it's referring to, oh, no, I am safe. Does that make sense?
It does. And so how do you get that childhood memory to tweak to what we want it to be?
Very good. So we use the back and forth with the little brain chemistry exercise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the links to the brain chemistry exercise and the step-by-step for changing a negative childhood memory. I'll put the links in the description of this video, but if you'd like to do one now, I can take you through it in person if you like. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
All right. So do you have a particular memory that you'd like to change?
Sure. I have a lot of them. Yeah. Okay. Let's do one. When I was 18 though, actually I was 19. Is that too late?
That's okay. That's okay. So what we tend to do is try and go for the earlier ones first, if possible, because those are the roots of the weed, and then the others change automatically. But sometimes you can't remember earlier one.
I could remember an earlier one, but it's pretty intense. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So we don't want to do anything too intense right now, just for the time scale, but let's do the 18-year-old one.
Okay.
So you were 18 years old, and can you give me, I can do this no content. Can you give me a name for the memory? So it could be, shoes or
airport.
Field. Very good. All right. Let me ask you, what's your favorite color, Jill?
Green.
Green. Very good. And do you have a subject? So in other words, a person, animal, place, or activity that you love with no negative connotation. So no missing or longing or anything like that, but something that you just love.
Sure. My little dog, Faye.
Faye. Lovely. Very good. All right. Think about the airport memory now. So airport, 18 years old, and let me know how strong the negative emotions are. So 0 to 10, how strong are those negative emotions?
I'd say 7.
Very good. Now I want you to press pause on that memory, and I want you to take a deep breath and imagine being surrounded by green, the most beautiful shade of green you've ever seen. And you can close your eyes if you want to. You don't have to. Can you do that?
Okay.
Very good. And what kind of green is it? Is it a light green or a dark green?
It's kind of a light green.
Light green. Very good. Very good. And I want you to see if you can feel the feeling of being surrounded by that beautiful light green.
Yes.
You got that. Good job. And now I want you to think of Faye.
Okay.
And I want you to imagine holding her in your, it's a her, right?
She, yeah.
Faye? Yeah, she. So it would be interesting if it was a boy, but still. All right. So I want you to imagine holding Faye in your arms in a hug.
Okay.
Good. And can you feel the feeling of love and connection between you? Good job. Now I want you to imagine that feeling of love and connection, wherever you feel it in you, in your chest or your solar plexus, as a ball of light or energy.
Okay.
And imagine that light or energy spreading all the way through your body, down to your toes, up to the top of your head, and out to your fingertips. So you're full of that light, that energy, that love. You got that?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Good job. So now press pause on that, back to the airport memory. So 18 years old at the airport, and the negative emotions were around a 7. Where are they now? Is it more? Is it less? Is it the same?
I forgot to pause that. Good one.
That's all right. That's fine. That's absolutely fine, because the aim is to bring those negative emotions down. So it's absolutely fine.
It's kind of hard to get in that space of the airport because I'm, in the nice. So.
That's right. That's the idea.
Yeah.
So as you go to that airport memory now, what we want to do is we don't want to amp up those stress chemicals again, the negative feelings. We just want to notice what is there now. So what we're doing as we're doing this, as you thought of the airport memory in the first instance, your brain started producing these stress chemicals that create the negative emotions. And, the level of stress chemicals was at about a 7 for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you imagine pressing pause on that and you started thinking of the color and hugging Faye and all of that and the light, those connections between neurons in your brain started producing feel-good chemicals. So your brain switched off the stress chemicals tab and switched on the feel-good chemicals tab. So then when you press pause on that and you go back to the negative memory, now your system has feel-good chemicals in it.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy to feel those stress chemicals.
Okay.
And this will vary from person to person and from memory to memory. So sometimes the stress chemicals will be stronger. And so then it'll take a bit more back and forth before you are able to think of that negative memory without the negative feelings. So I'm saying this for everybody else as well. Remember that all you want to do when you think of that negative memory, just 1 or 2 seconds. So it's like dipping your toe in a bath to see if it's hot. You don't want to get in.
Sure.
So this is the same. You just want to check up, and perhaps it's a 4 or a 3 or whatever it is, or an 8, and you keep doing that until when you think of the negative memory, there's no negative emotions.
So you're saying one day that would happen, I could think of that intensely. And
well, so what we're going to do, we don't leave it there. So now that you've got the feel-good chemicals in your system, we want to check if there's any negative emotions at all in the airport memory.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything there left?
A little bit.
A little bit? Very good. So let's go back to the green.
Okay.
And hugging Faye. And if Faye's ever done anything funny Think of that. There
Okay.
you go. Very good. So we're producing feel-good chemicals again.
Uh-huh.
And then we press pause on that. And now we think of the airport memory again and any negative emotions left. So we want to keep doing this until when you think of the airport memory, there's no negative emotions.
Yeah, there's still a wee bit. Yeah.
Little bit. Come back
Mhm.
to Faye and the green and how much you love Faye, everything you love about her, how cute she is, and the connection between you, how
Okay.
grateful you are for her. You got all that? Feeling good?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Press pause on that. Let's go to the airport again. Any negative emotions left?
Less and less. Still, you know, a
Little bit. Okay. And so what we want to do is now we want to change whatever happened, okay, to the opposite, positive and empowering. And the way we change it is literally by imagining it differently. So the way this works is because the unconscious part of the brain can't tell the difference between reality and imagination. And it also doesn't have a concept of linear time. So as we think of things to the unconscious part of the brain, it's happening in this moment and it doesn't question the logic or the reasoning behind it. So you want to think of the most fabulous thing that could have happened instead. So can you think of something exciting? So you're meeting a celebrity at the airport, or you're going somewhere exciting on holiday and you're with people who are fun.
So I put that alternative right in that memory. That's
right. That's right. So what we're doing is it's like learning a new phone number. So your brain has your phone number and then you want to change your phone number, practice saying the new phone number, and eventually your brain replaces the old one with the new one. So it's like that. The thing that stops us from doing that is the negative emotions, the stress chemicals. So that's why we bring the stress chemicals down first, then reimagine the memory. And of course, bearing in mind, you'll always know what originally happened. Consciously, you'll always know what originally happened, but we're changing that information for the unconscious part of your brain, which will believe the new memory.
Okay.
All right. And so you want to create the new memory, amp up the feel-good feelings. So it's not enough because stress chemicals are stronger. You know, the sense of survival mechanism is a lot stronger than the feel-good stuff because for survival, to keep us alive. So that's why it's, you know, negative emotions are so much stronger and so difficult to pull yourself out of very often. Because they're keeping you alive. So you want to make it, it needs to be amazing, not just okay. You know, celebrity or a fun, you know, whatever that 18-year-old you would have loved to have happened right then.
Okay, I got an
You
idea.
got something?
Yeah.
Good. Very good. And just for everybody listening in on this, there is no limit to the special effects and the budget in your mind. So you can literally do anything. You can use magic, you can use, you know, fictional characters. So there's no limit because the unconscious part of the brain won't question it. Now that you've created that, you want to practice that over and over with feel-good feelings until it's established, which means until when you think of it, you can remember it easily. Does that make